This is Henry Monshine again. In this segment, we're going to see how you can expand your research into other databases and how you can create an account with EBSCO to save your articles into a folder for later use. Although Education Source is a great database to get started with, there are many other databases both in education and in related areas that you might consider researching. So the way to do that, we already have a search. We found 103 articles. Now we could simply go to Choose Databases. This will bring up a menu of all the different databases available to you. Since we've searched Education Source, I'm just going to uncheck it. And we can search other sources. You can check off as many as you want or one at a time. Let's expand into some of the other social science databases. Perhaps PsycInfo might have some useful information, so I'm going to check PsycInfo, click OK. Now normally we should probably start a new search and look up the terms in the thesaurus in the PsycInfo database, because that one's going to be a little different from Education Source. But we could actually just try to run the search just the way it is and see if we find something relevant. So it happened to work. Many times the databases will use similar subject terms, so they work across databases. So now we have 421 results, and many of these, again, talk about bullying and cyberbullying. And these will probably have a different perspective. Sometimes, because they're in a psychology database, you're going to have more studies about maybe the individual effects of bullying on students, rather than programs to prevent bullying, as we've seen in the education database. Here's one called the bullying dynamic. So again, maybe some more psychological studies about why do kids bully, what's behind the phenomenon. So that's the advantage of really expanding your research into other databases. All these work seamlessly. You can do the same limits as we've done before. You could limit to the peer-reviewed articles. You could limit to full text if you want. And of course you could, again, adjust the date range. So if you wanted to go back 5 or 10 years, you can do that right here. And again, that narrows it down a bit as well. Now let's take a look at another database. We've found some relevant articles in a couple databases. So we're going back to the menu. I'll uncheck PsycInfo, and this time let's look at the Soc Index. This database is specific to social science research, sociology, anthropology, social work, those fields. Again, you may get a different perspective when you run the search through the Soc Index database. And you can see again, there are many articles about the topic of bullying and middle school students. Now, as we're going through these databases, you may want to save these for later use. What you need to do is create an account in EBSCOhost. And let me walk you through the steps right now. The way to get started is click on the sign in link on the blue bar, then click on create a new account, and you'll just have to fill out the online form. When you get to a username, I would recommend using your Cal Lutheran username to see if it'll be accepted. Sometimes it'll say it's been taken. It means someone else came up with the same username. Then you have to create a password, and they'll give you a meter that lets you know if indicates your password strength. So sometimes it'll reject your password until they feel that it's strong enough to prevent hacking. So go ahead and set up your account, and as you're doing that, I will sign in my account and show you how to create a folder. So I'm going to sign in, put in my username, and click login. Also, you can use this account as long as you're a student at Cal Lutheran. Now that I've signed in, I'm going to click on the folder icon, and we're going to see how to create a folder for this research project. So when you get to this screen, you'll see a button that says New. We'll click on that, and you can give it a name. We'll call it Bullying. And click Save. I also have a lot of folders, and the reason I keep these is just to show people that you can set up as many folders as you want, and these don't disappear. They only go away when you decide to delete them. So you can set up folders for every research project, every class. If you're working on a thesis, you can set up folders for your different chapters or sections of your literature review. So there's lots of ways you can use the folder feature. And now I'm going to click the back button to get back to my search results, and I'm going to save some of these articles and look at them later. So what I'll do, if I'm interested in this article, I'll click on the folder icon here on the right, look for my folder. I'll scroll all the way down to the bottom, and there it is. Click on it. Then it turns yellow. That indicates that that article has been added to your folder. So as you go through the articles, as you read the abstracts, if you decide you want to save these, you just go to the folder and click on it, and you can save it. You could save an entire screen full of articles if you'd like. Go to the share link, and then you'll see results 1 through 10. If you click on that and then your folder, it will automatically save the first 10 articles on the screen. You can then go to the next screen and do the same thing. This is useful if you'd like to save the first 10 or 20 articles and look at them later, and you can always delete the ones that you feel aren't relevant or necessary. So what we've done at this point, we've seen how to continue your research, how to navigate to some of the other databases in EBSCOhost, and how to set up an account and a folder where you can save articles for later review.